Hi, Prerna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining in.
It
Our
is
audience was waiting for you. Meanwhile, I've just explained them, what you do, how, you have reached milestones to start this company, and also about the theme of this particular series. So I just want to know a little bit more about, from you that why you do what you're doing right now.
okay. So, I don't know what all you have told them, but I'll tell something about myself and about my company. So me and my partner, he's an architect. So we both are running this business from last 3 years, and individually, it's been almost 8 9 years that I'm in the industry. So I am doing residential and commercial projects pan India. There are a lot of projects like that's going on, and every project has a different line. But I majorly try to work on modern contemporary lines. It also
Mm-hmm.
depends what type of clients we get. But yeah,
Indeed. So to start with, as we decided
yes,
that we are going to discuss everything around the season change, the home decor, and now Ganesh Chaturthi is coming.
yeah,
It's tomorrow. The
yeah,
festives are coming. The whole season, October, December. This is a complete a festive vibe
yes.
season. So what do you think? What do you think? What are some easy yet impactful way for people to transition their home decor from one season to another?
Okay. So basically, if I talk about my house, or maybe I talk about general thing, whenever this, so basically, I love, the last 4 months of the year because it's all like there's so much happening. There are weddings and there are so
Yeah.
like the Shera, then there is n number of festivals. So I because not every year you can change the curtains or your furniture or anything, but there are very basic things that you can do. So
Mm-hmm.
starting like I always try to change my soft furnishings, which involves throws, pillows, and maybe just changing. If I have curtain and sheer curtain, then I would like to have good belts. Like I try to add colorful belts for the curtains at times because that also adds a lot of festivity
Indeed.
when we have when you can do all of this. Also like during the September month, I try to incorporate some pastel colors in my house because since it's like this year, so you can't figure out which weather it is going on. But yeah, during September, I go with earthy tones or pastel tones, and then November, December, I like to add warm colors with a tint of gold and all. That gives almost like a Diwali vibe, and then New Year, and all of that. So that's how I change my basic soft furnishings. Or maybe if somebody is over, you can go for good blankets, duvet covers, and all cushion covers. So that's how you can upgrade the interiors just by changing such soft furnishings during the festival time.
Indeed.
And if I talk about decor, then in decor, what you can do is you can get metal planters, you can get those metal vases where you can just have floating candles, or you can get good scented candles, for the decoration. During the Diwali season, I really love to do such paper decoration, having decorating your wall with the cards and everything. So these are small things that I think creates an impact if somebody is coming over and you can just change little bit.
Mhm. Now you have just mentioned a bit on the color palette and
Yeah.
what are the certain elements
Hmm.
that one can do. Whether it's about the a bit changing of the colors of curtain, designing of their sofas and stuff like that. But what if someone is on a very tight budget? What are some most cost-effective ways that one can update their home with for each
Uh,
season? Whether it's the wedding or anything that you can count on.
if so, there are a lot of DIY things also. Like I personally also do. When you have leftover jars and all, people do create planters out of them, and maybe like just for keeping basic things also in the kitchen. People the coffee jars, after how you can reuse them.
Mhm.
So you can just clean them. So even in fact, if I talk about my own mother, she is quite fond of it. Like she'll paint all the leftover beer bottles, and so that's how you can. It's not that always you have to go to the market and buy things and then decorate your house. You can obviously, do things on your own and create something nice. Like, just painting the planters and painting the jars, or maybe, if you have any old furniture. Suppose I did this last year. I had a small trunk,
Mhm.
so I painted that trunk in a gold metallic color. I pasted a nice fabric over it. So that was like a decorative piece. So not always you have to, just go to the market and purchase the things.
Indeed. One of my favorite DIYs has always been that, putting some fairy lights in the
Yes.
wine
It's
bottles
the bottle
and
and
making some designs over that so you can gulp wines without any, any guilt. So you can reuse it and decorate your house well,
yeah.
indeed. What are some of the timeless pieces or decor elements that never go, out of trend that you personally think, and how one can incorporate in their house or use for their holiday decorating?
So if I talk about the timeless again, the bottle thing you said, so that is one thing. I have a lot of bottles which has those rope lights in it, and that I use it like a lamp during the
Mhm.
night. I just want a dim light in my room, so I use that. And there are a lot of glass ornaments which are like the timeless, like they will never go out of fashion.
Mhm.
Also, earlier people used to keep a lot of copper element or maybe silver elements. So
Mhm.
those are timeless pieces. I don't think so they will ever go out of fashion. Like especially during Diwali time, I've seen like we also do that generally. In our home, we take out those silver pieces, we clean them, and nowadays, so there are a lot of because like whenever the Diwali is approaching, people do take out some stuff and clean them. So silverware is another timeless thing. I think that will never go out of fashion. And yeah, I think you can just polish them, and I think that's
You
it.
use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I was about to ask Prerna, that what are the most sustainable things one can do? But I think we Indians somehow, this particular thought is so much embedded in our spire dadis and nanis that we are going to reuse that old coin. I remember on every Diwali we use the same silver
Silver
coin and
coin.
same murti of Lord Ganesha and
Hmm.
Lakshmi. So I think we are so much incorporated with that particular thing that somewhere we are so much sustainable in our
Also,
practices, whether it's about the decorating or anything. So that's kudos to our culture and our
yes. So
communities.
I don't think so. Like our elders will let anything go out of fashion because they know ki if not this year, then next year we'll for sure use it again. So it's like
Indeed.
that. Yeah.
Also, counting it down a little bit, talk on another note. When we talk about being mindful with our practices, so what do you think? What advice do you have for the people, for homeowners, for the new generation designers, to start incorporating mindfulness for the interior designing choices on a budget?
Okay. So I feel like this, when we also like the first thing you start a project is you always do a space planning. Like that's how you move forward. So I feel people, like I've seen people, like even if I go to the client with a layout, they're like, no, this is very less. Like the sitting is very less. So I feel like people don't understand. You don't, like the people don't believe in less is more. Like like that's what we have tried to started explaining to the clients. Like you need to have something, at least you should have those free spaces, because just overcrowding the space, because not every day you're having people over.
Mhm.
It's twice a month, thrice a month, or like for like let's say 4 times in a month, not more than that. So I think people have started now they have started understanding. But when I study the layouts, I think people do believe in overcrowding the space, which I feel that shouldn't be done. Also, I feel creating a clean space and also having a lot of natural light into the house, and colors like soft pastels, or and introducing indoor plants with the pastel color combinations. These are certain advice that I would like to give, which actually which also helps you to have the good vibes also in the house. Not just it is like how you're designing, it is just when you are living, that also helps a lot. So having
Mm-hmm.
such things, indoor plants, pastel colors, keeping it let clutter, like I was, if out of four walls, you don't have to fill all the four walls, you can just fill two.
Mm-hmm. Right.
In You don't have to have a lot of frames. You can just have three or four and you can create a good pattern. Or maybe you can, like, you should always, like, people should believe in minimalism now.
Indeed, indeed.
Because, yeah.
I was about to say that word. What I have
Mhm.
heard from you, that you're a practitioner and believer of course, of minimalism,
Yes.
and that's how I believe somewhere a Gen Z culture
Yes.
now pursue that, not having too much, but what you have it of quality,
Yes.
right? As you mentioned, that decorate two walls, but
Yeah.
make it so
Yeah.
beautiful that it overpowers the whole room, and also incorporating some of the important elements like having sunshine, some plants that give you a ample amount of oxygen when a lot of people are sleeping in a room or
Yeah.
something like that. So
Yeah.
having basic and most important elements.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like I also like at times, like we use materials like veneer, and also those are very already very heavy looking materials. So you can't
Mm-hmm.
have another heavy material with it. Like obviously when you have a bigger size room, and if you have you know it mat or to be honest, it is different for different cases, I'll say. If you have a bigger living room, suppose, so you can obviously, being a living room, you can put things on all the walls or maybe three walls and keep one subtle. But for the bedrooms, like I always feel that things should be like more like minimalistic. The approach towards the bedroom should always be minimalistic.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. And one thing I want to ask here, what do you think? What are some of the common mistakes that generally people do? Whether they are the homeowners, they are the newbie designers, that they should consider not to do while the seasonal decor change, or in general when creating the spaces. So what are some mistakes, or what do we say, superstition, some of the go to things जो चली आ रही है, but we have to change that. So what are that mistake that what you think that one can change?
One, I feel like recently we are doing a project in which the client said, I don't want a false ceiling because it reduces a lot of space. I said it depends how you are making a false. Matlab, what type of false ceiling we are designing for you. So one is that people have this confusion, like after, like false ceiling reduces the space, but nobody understands, like there is, we why do we need false ceiling? Because if you are designing an apartment or a builder house, we have often seen this problem that they hardly give any light points, and
Mm-hmm.
lighting plays a very, very big role in the interiors, because if you have good lighting and if you have nothing on the walls, your house still looks good because it is highlighting the furniture, some few areas, maybe the paintings, and also lighting, because people don't understand, it is very important to have a combination of task, ambient, and also a general lighting in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have a study table, you need to have something over it, because without it, I don't think so there's any point. Then
Mm-hmm.
again, I would repeat, overcrowding the space. If you have space for eight people living room, don't try to incorporate 10, 11, 12, because when somebody is over, you face those issues of that circular space around it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, so meanwhile, I'm about to ask my last question to the people who have already joined here. Maybe if you have certain questions, so feel free to put in the comments below. Meanwhile, so last thing which I'm really curious to know. One advice, one particular element, or let's say two elements that you think one should have on this season, this the winters and Diwali and Ganesh Chaturthi, all this coming. So, what do you think? What are the two major elements that they should have in their room or in their house?
Okay, so again, I'll say you should have good indoor plants or maybe some artificial flower arrangements. If not, if you go for indoor plants, you can obviously go for some good flower arrangements. Like you can, it's not that you have to go to Pure or Oma or Home Center. There are n number of shops available in the local markets as well, from where you can buy those combination of flowers and you can just set in a good metallic planter. And you should from the decor point of view I'm talking about, also you can add good candle stands, because I think that leaves a great impact when somebody is coming over for dinners, over the dining table or over the center tables. In terms of soft furnishings, I would say your throws, you should add some Indian prints like for the last four. And also you can incorporate good colorful cushions for the
I
sofa,
think
for the bed, and for if you have living room, then if you like living room sofas, chairs, and everything.
this will make a whole package, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so one guy mentioned, Ashwin is saying, hi, I have some different and extraordinary ideas in the architecture. Can I join at your studio, ma'am? So yeah, it's a CV coming up for you, ma'am. Can he
Hi.
join to your studio? I think you can connect her personally. Definitely,
You
Prerna
can
would love to
mail
hear from
me,
you.
you can mail me your CV and portfolio, and you can see the page as well. The email ID is mentioned over there.
Yes. And
Yeah.
if I don't think so, if someone has question, please feel free to add. We are just going to stay for 20 seconds more. So any questions that you have. Meanwhile, thank you, Prerna. It was lovely, lovely having you.
Same here. Same.
You
Lovely.
have saved us for this
All
particular season.
yeah.
Thank you again, and I look forward to maybe have some another session with you where we would change some other theme.
Sure.
But yeah, thank you so much again for joining us. It's lovely
Okay.
chatting with you.
Same here. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
And meanwhile, thank you so much for joining. Meanwhile, just one request for all the people. We have also introduced our podcast, which is going to be launched soon, maybe by next week. So stay tuned for that. And here we are going to invite some of the home design experts, where the Vastu experts, designers, architects, and have some great conversation for the homeowners and newbie aspirant for the home design experts. So stay tuned for that. And Prerna, probably I'd love to see you over there also on our podcast or our chat show. So look forward to that. Thank you so much again. Bye
Okay.
everyone.
Bye.